Over 3,800 years since his reign, Hammurabi, the ancient Babylonian king, is most renowned for the Code of Hammurabi, a collection of 282 laws inscribed on stone pillars prominently displayed throughout his kingdom. However, this legal code is just one aspect of Hammurabi's legacy as a ruler who transformed Babylon, a city-state located 60 miles south of modern-day Baghdad, into the preeminent power of ancient Mesopotamia. Hammurabi's reign, which spanned from 1792 to 1750 BC, exemplified the effective combination of military strength, diplomatic acumen, and political expertise needed to forge and maintain an empire. His domain extended 250 miles inland from the Persian Gulf, covering vast areas along the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. While his laws are well known, Hammurabi's achievements as a ruler, warrior, diplomat, and administrator were equally significant. His leadership set a precedent for empire building and governance in the ancient world, demonstrating a multifaceted approach to ruling that went beyond just legal reforms. Hammurabi emerged as the most powerful ruler in the region due to his strategic and cunning approach to leadership. Known for his keen political instincts, Hammurabi skillfully navigated the complex landscape of alliances and rivalries to assert his dominance. Hammurabi was unafraid to form alliances when it suited his interests, only to dissolve them when they no longer served his goals. This approach was supported by an extensive network of diplomats and spies, ensuring he was always the most informed leader in the region. Throughout much of his reign, Hammurabi prioritized diplomacy to advance Babylon's interests, all while steadily strengthening his military. It was only in the later years of his rule that he resorted to military force. His patient and calculated strategy was made possible by the fact that he ascended to the throne at a younger age than many other regional kings, giving him the advantage of time to carefully plan his path to supremacy. Hammurabi as a builder and conqueror. When Hammurabi ascended to the throne in 1792 BC, Babylon was a relatively minor city-state, overshadowed by its more powerful southern rival Larsa, whose king Rim-Sin I had previously defeated Hammurabi's father. Determined to transform Babylon into a dominant force, Hammurabi quickly set about fortifying and enhancing his city. He was the first Babylonian king to erect protective walls around Babylon, a move that historian Susan Weisbauer highlights as crucial to the city's defense and growth. In addition to strengthening Babylon's physical defenses, Hammurabi endeared himself to his people by issuing a proclamation that cancelled all their debts, a popular measure he would repeat multiple times during his reign. Like a modern leader who gains favor by improving local infrastructure, Hammurabi invested heavily in public works to boost his political standing. He embarked on a series of ambitious projects, constructing temples, granaries, and palaces that showcased Babylon's growing power. He also built a bridge across the Euphrates River, facilitating the city's expansion on both banks, and dug an impressive irrigation canal that not only provided water for agriculture, but also protected the land from floods. These projects not only transformed Babylon into a wealthy and prosperous city, but also solidified Hammurabi's reputation as a beneficent ruler. He made sure that his subjects knew he was fulfilling a divine mandate, entrusted by the gods to care for the land and its people. In his own words, as recorded by historian Will Durant, Hammurabi declared, "I heaped up piles of grain, I provided unfailing water for the lands. The scattered people I gathered with pasturage and water I provided them, I pastured them with abundance and settled them in peaceful dwellings." After decades of carefully strengthening Babylon through diplomacy and infrastructure, Hammurabi was ready to expand his influence through military conquest. He launched a series of campaigns that swiftly brought neighboring regions under Babylonian control. In rapid succession, he subdued Eshnunna in the east, Assyria to the north, Larsa to the south, and Mari in the west. Hammurabi was a master of blending diplomacy with military might. He was known for forming strategic alliances with other rulers, only to break them when it served his interests. His warfare tactics were as cunning as his political maneuvers. One of his favored strategies was to dam up the water supply of rival cities, using thirst to force their surrender, or suddenly releasing the water to cause devastating floods that left his enemies vulnerable to attack. This combination of shrewd diplomacy and ruthless warfare allowed Hammurabi to not only expand his empire, but also secure his legacy as one of ancient Mesopotamia's most formidable rulers. Code of Hammurabi remains a legal model. Hammurabi's comprehensive legal code addressed a wide range of issues, including building regulations, inheritance rights, the treatment of slaves, and even the fees to be paid to veterinarians for tending to oxen and donkeys. While not the first legal system in history, Hammurabi's code incorporated laws from earlier rulers, yet it stood out for its emphasis on a society governed by the principles of law and order, applicable to all members of society. The code featured laws that might seem severe or harsh by today's standards, but it also demonstrated a concern for the welfare of marginalized groups. For instance, some laws emphasized the importance of responsibility and care within the community, reflecting an early recognition of social justice. Hammurabi's legal system also introduced concepts that continue to resonate in modern times, such as the requirement for evidence and proof in criminal cases, echoing the principle of innocent until proven guilty. Additionally, the code included provisions for what could be considered the earliest form of alimony payments, ensuring support for those who might be left vulnerable in the aftermath of legal disputes. Hammurabi as a benevolent ruler. The Code of Hammurabi served not only as a legal framework, but also as a tool for enhancing the king's image as a wise and benevolent leader. One of the surviving stone pillars even depicts Hammurabi in the presence of Shamash, the Babylonian god of justice, reinforcing his role as a just ruler closely aligned with divine authority. Hammurabi aimed to be seen as more than just a king. He wanted to be perceived as a protector of his people, a representative of the gods on earth, a military leader, and the ultimate judge. This portrayal wasn't merely for show, however. Hammurabi genuinely sought to improve the lives of his subjects and ensure they were treated fairly. He made it clear in his correspondence with officials that anyone who felt wronged by the courts could appeal directly to him. This approach demonstrated his commitment to justice and his desire to be seen as a ruler who guaranteed fairness for all, avoiding the abuse of power. The image he cultivated as a just and caring leader was not just a political strategy, but also a reflection of his genuine concern for his people.